Have you ever wondered how a city known for its scorching heat and arid climate could be brought to a standstill by rain? Let's take a journey to Dubai, a place that recently experienced this oddity. In the blink of an eye, the city's normal hustle and bustle was replaced by an unexpected torrential downpour. This wasn't just a light sprinkle that residents might write off as a pleasant surprise. No, this was a deluge that seemed to appear out of nowhere, turning the city's world upside down. And you know, where there's rain, there's usually trouble. The city's airport, one of the busiest in the world, was thrown into chaos. Torrents of water made runways look more like rivers, leading to the suspension of all operations for 25 long minutes. Imagine being a passenger on one of those planes, watching as the world outside your window became a swirling mass of water. But the airport wasn't the only place feeling the effects of this sudden storm. Roads around the airport turned impassable, stranding passengers and disrupting the flow of life. 21 outbound flights and 24 inbound ones were cancelled, with 3 others diverted. The city advised people to stay away from the airport unless absolutely necessary, as the situation remained unpredictable. And this wasn't a situation confined to Dubai alone. The heavy rainfall, the worst since records began in 1949, caused havoc not only in the city but also in neighboring countries like Bahrain and Oman. As the heaviest rainfall since 1949 swept through Dubai, the city found itself unprepared for the deluge. In the wake of the unprecedented flood, the city of Dubai was left grappling with its aftermath. Torrential rains and heavy flooding led to a scene of utter chaos, disrupting the rhythm and routine of this bustling metropolis. The world's second busiest airport, Dubai's very own hub of global connectivity, faced severe disruption. A suspension of all operations for a nerve-wracking 25 minutes, 21 outbound and 24 inbound flights cancelled, and 3 flights diverted. This wasn't a scene from a disaster movie, but a stark reality that the city was forced to confront. Imagine being a passenger in this scenario. Stranded, helpless, with the roads around the airport rendered impassable by the floodwaters. The airport advised people to avoid coming unless necessary, as flights continued to be delayed and diverted. The usual hum of activity replaced with an eerie silence, punctuated by the occasional announcement of yet another flight delay. However, the impact of this flood was not limited to the airport. The entire city found itself in the grip of this natural disaster. Some areas bore the brunt more than others. The flooding described as the heaviest since records began in 1949. The city's infrastructure, designed to handle the arid desert climate, found itself woefully inadequate in the face of such heavy rains. Yet, amidst this chaos, certain areas remained relatively unscathed, a testament to the city's unequal distribution of resources and infrastructure. The stark contrast between the most affected areas and these relatively untouched zones only highlighted the city's vulnerability and the need for a comprehensive disaster management plan. In the face of such a challenge, the question arises, how is the government planning to solve this problem? With the city underwater, the onus was on the government to take swift action. The government of Dubai, known for its efficiency, wasted no time in mobilizing its resources. Emergency services sprang into action, conducting rescue operations and providing immediate aid to those affected by the flood. The city's internationally recognized civil defense teams were at the forefront, working tirelessly to ensure safety and provide relief. But the government's response went beyond immediate relief. Acknowledging the severity of the situation, they quickly implemented a comprehensive plan to address the effects of the flood and to prevent such incidents in the future. This included a rigorous assessment of the city's infrastructure, identifying areas that were vulnerable to extreme weather events. The government pledged to invest in significant infrastructure improvements. These ranged from enhancing the city's drainage systems to improving the resilience of buildings and other structures. They also promise stricter enforcement of building codes and standards to ensure that future constructions are built to withstand such calamities. Simultaneously, the government also announced policy changes aimed at mitigating the effects of climate change. They committed to a more aggressive approach towards reducing greenhouse gas emissions, in line with the goals set at the COP28 summit. This included a renewed focus on renewable energy sources and a gradual phasing out of fossil fuels. Moreover, they also stressed on the importance of international cooperation in combating climate change. They called on other nations to honor their commitments made at the COP28 summit, emphasizing that climate change is a global issue that requires a global response. While the government's response was swift, one can't help but wonder, could this disaster have been prevented? The flood in Dubai raises a critical question. Is climate change to blame? Indeed, we're seeing more extreme weather events worldwide, and scientists tell us these are signs of a rapidly changing climate. Just recently, former Vice President Al Gore expressed concern over the lack of commitment to phase out fossil fuels at the United Nations COP28 conference in Dubai. Achieving net zero emissions by 2050, while a step in the right direction, may not be enough to halt the devastating impacts of climate change. COP28 also drew attention to the role of the fossil fuel industry in hindering climate progress. The call for a shift from reliance on fossil fuels towards more effective solutions like carbon capture and storage was loud and clear. Meanwhile, the heavy flooding in Dubai, described as the heaviest since records began in 1949, suggests that we are already feeling the effects of our past and present actions. As we grapple with the reality of climate change, it is clear that our actions today will shape the future of our planet. The flood in Dubai serves as a stark reminder of the urgency of the climate crisis. It's a call to action for each one of us to step up and contribute to the fight against climate change. This begins with understanding our own carbon footprint and seeking ways to reduce it. Opt for public transportation, bike, or walk whenever possible. Consider energy-efficient appliances for your home and make a conscious effort to reduce, reuse, and recycle. Supporting renewable energy is another impactful way to contribute. If you can, consider transitioning to solar power or wind energy in your residence or business. This not only reduces your carbon footprint, but also supports industries that are crucial to our sustainable future. But it doesn't stop there. Advocate for climate policies in your local community and at the national level. Use your voice to demand stronger action on climate change, to phase out fossil fuels, and to invest in sustainable solutions. Remember, change starts with us. Our individual actions may seem small, but collectively they hold immense power. Together, we can make a difference. Because every action counts in the fight against climate change. What actions are you taking to combat climate change? Thanks everyone for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like and share.